Thank you, Terry and Gina, for being with me. I'm just treating this like a normal conversation. I've seen you speak before. However, I don't think we've ever actually met in person together. So this will be just me learning about you, just like most of our audience will be learning about you for the first time. So thank you for being willing to serve at our iHeart Tech NSA Colorado coming March 22nd. That is a Friday, 2013, from 8:30 to 4:30. So we have lots of speakers that day. But today, I'd just like to get an introduction from the both of you. So why don't you start out and tell me a little bit about how you got to NSA?
Sure. Well, Gina, I'll let you go ahead and start.
Well, I was active in a Toastmasters chapter in Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-founder of the chapter, Joe Gandolfo, who is an NSA Georgia member, invited me to attend the convention in Atlanta in 2005. And so I attended and just fell in love with the people that were there and really have enjoyed it so much. And I joke that every good thing in my life has come from someone or something that had to do with NSA. So I'm really very grateful for the organization. And I speak about marketing, technology, and primarily I've done it to support and promote my other businesses. I had a chain of magazines in Atlanta, and now I do marketing consulting based here in Orlando.
I always like to say that Toastmasters helps you to learn how to speak, and then the NSA organization teaches you how to speak to get paid for it, ultimately. This
that's
important business.
Yeah. In Colorado, do those grocery stores require real dollars?
Yeah, real dollars.
Wow,
exactly.
Just like here in Florida. Isn't that amazing?
Okay, Terry, go ahead.
Well, I was born at a very young age. And that old joke, I know. Scott Friedman's going, yeah. His eyes are rolling. I can see it right now. I can see you, Scott, right through time and space. Okay? But I've been in NSA since 1988 and have been honored to be involved in a marvelous organization where people are sharing and we're giving a lot and learning a lot. And it's wonderful. One of the things I enjoy doing is as we bounce around the world talking to people in different countries, getting a chance to talk with them about how they can use technology, how they can use it for a business purpose, be able to generate more money. And that's going to be what we'll talk about when we get together with you for the iHeart Technology. I like that. iHeart Technology on that Friday, not a Saturday. It's a Friday, and it'll be there all day long unless it rains. And then if it rains, it's a rainy day. But we'll still be there and having a great time.
Snowy day, you never know.
What day? I'm sorry, what? What was that word you used? What day? Snow. What is that? Well, you see, we're in Florida. We don't have It's 83 degrees today here. I think you got a bunch of snow up there. You see, you have to understand, in Miami, snow has a completely different meaning.
Can you give a summary of how you approach the complexity of all this technology to promote your speaking business?
Well, I'd say the bad news it is complex, but the good news is that it's free. And things that in the past you'd have to spend literally millions of dollars on to be able to reach people around the globe, now you can do for free, and that's incredibly powerful. I think part of the complexity is people need to really break it down into bite-sized chunks. And I make the analogy that if you were going to learn French and Russian and Spanish, you wouldn't go out and learn them all at once. So you want to get fluent in French first, get very conversant and comfortable, and then move on to the other languages. So similarly, if you are trying to learn how to produce videos, really work on that first. Then move to marketing those videos through Facebook. And then perhaps add Twitter to the mix after you're pretty comfortable in YouTube and Facebook. So I think you need to really break it down and just make it simple in bite-sized chunks, and certainly have checklists to help you keep it all organized and know what your goals are and what you're working towards.
I think that's the key, is to look at what you're going to use it for, keeping it simple, like Gina says, and bite-sized chunks, but really find out what it is you're trying to accomplish. Get one of those. Here, I got something here. I don't know if you remember these, Marty. They were called these paper and pen. One of these things, the back, long ago. And I found a few remote ones at this old antiquated place called Office Depot, and they had them there, and I write them down. But you write down your goals, write down what it is you really want to accomplish. Then let's find the tools that will make that happen. And like Gina says, I think it's incredible what we can do today. That now with little devices like a smartphone here, I've got my little iPhone here, my iPad, my MacBook Pro that I'm using right now to talk with you on this. I can sit down and I can create text and rival any newspaper or magazine in the world and getting in distribution. I also can create audio that is quality sound, can be accepted at any radio station in the world, and can create video that can be accepted at any television station. You think about that, we can do all that in a marginal cost of zero. It's just our labor. And so we can do this and we can reach a lot of people and we can make a lot of money with this for our business. We can reach a lot of people. The trick is, and this is where most people fall, they don't want to put in the time and the effort to learn it. But if they learn the shortcuts, which are some of the things we'll be talking about, how to do it, how to put the nuts, bolts, and wiggle pins of it together, then we can make some magic happen and, hey, get some of that money to get out there to King Super and pay for those groceries.
How long does it take once you decide you're going to follow a checklist and go through these shortcuts? What can somebody expect as a return?
Wow, that's a difficult and loaded question. It's like so much of marketing. It's not the single activity. It's the combination. And so you need to be producing good content. You need to have good blog posts. You need to have a book. You need to have your intellectual property in a means that you can distribute digitally. When you can do that, do we have case studies? Some of our clients, yes, in conjunction with the launch of a book and a lot of great promotion, have definitely seen their inquiries on speaking opportunities go up and bookings as well. Our friend, one of Terry's longtime really good friends, Randy Gage, he throws the statistic around that he has earned more than $2 million from consulting and speaking opportunities just from Twitter in the past couple of years. So that's a pretty nice number right there. One of my early consulting assignments, first big dollar consulting assignments, came from Twitter, and someone had seen what I was doing on Twitter, seen some of the ways that I was marketing for other people and for myself, and I just barely reached out. Hey, you need any help with that new book? He said, yes. I said, great. He said, how much? I said, okay, this much. And, that's a whole lot better than a cold call.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, when you mentioned cold call, I thought of what Jeffrey Gitomer, a fellow NSA member, has said, that social media is the new cold calling. We all get irritated if somebody calls us on the phone and they're trying to, hi, you want to buy some new aluminum siding? We can sell it to you really, really cheap. We don't want to hear that. We're tired of it. And, somebody's selling whatever they've got. We don't want that. But what you do is with social media, you get to know someone. See, it's one of the things I talk about. Matter of fact, I want to make this available free to people in Colorado during my program. I've got a video on how the best question yesterday is now the worst question you can ask. Before, you go into a client's office or potential client's office, you look around and you'd see something that, there's a fishing rod there, so you talk with them about fishing. Or you'd see a picture of a sailboat and you say, you like sailboats? Well, I like sailboats, etc. And you start asking, well, what does your company do here? And what kind of competition do you have? Those kind of questions were really good years ago. Today, you ask that, they will probably show you to the door, because you need to be up on what's going on. If you're going to go there for that meeting, you need to have done your research. Connect with them beforehand. Study their LinkedIn profile. Study what's going on with Facebook. Social media is not so much broadcasting. Matter of fact, I don't think we need to do much at all of the broadcasting. We need to do much more engagement. Connecting with people, listening to what their needs are, what their interests are, and then when you go in to talk with them, it's not really a cold call. You know them, they might know you, they might have heard of you, you gave them valuable information, create content in the form of audio, video, text, and direct them to your website. Then they're going to be much more receptive to talking to you.
I have taken now a complete full page of notes, and we've only been talking for we haven't even really been into it here for 10 minutes, and I've already got a page of notes. I can only imagine how much I'm going to be taking notes from you doing a whole session.
Oh, wait a minute. Does that mean we have to be good? Oh, no. This time?
You know, well, thank you, Marty. And I'd like to add on something to that. People want to see the ROI. But here's the thing. If somebody's thinking of hiring you and they go to look for your website and you don't have one, that's a big negative. Similarly, nowadays, they're going to look for you on social media. If you don't have it and you're not sharing and engaging and sharing thoughtful posts and, doing anything besides watching your cat snore in your bathrobe, it's not,
The cats go in the bathrobe and snore? I don't
No,
know.
you're wearing the bathrobe.
The
I've
cats
seen
wear the
speakers
bathrobe? Okay.
in their bathrobes on Facebook, and that just doesn't work. So, meeting planners, book publishers, people who are thinking about hiring folks for consulting or coaching, they're going to look at these things, and they may not say, "Oh, I hired you because I saw you on Facebook." But believe me, they're checking you out, and if you're not there and you're not presenting a good image and telling what you're all about, you are not likely to get the job.
Yeah. And matter of fact, one of the things we're going to talk about is the very important subject now of Clout Score. That's Klout. Many speakers know about that. Those that don't need to learn about it, because I remember seeing others in companies, large corporations, sitting around the table trying to decide who they're going to hire for speaking and what they're going to do. And they often will ask, "Oh, what is her Clout Score? What is his Clout Score?" That is one of the key factors they're now using for hiring a speaker or other thought leaders. So this digital world is now here, and it's actually fun when you learn it. So it doesn't mean you go, "Oh, gee," like you were saying earlier, Marty. It's not hiding from it and going, "Oh, no, I don't like technology. Oh, no, no, no." Instead, you turn it around and you go, "Hey, this stuff's pretty cool. Just learn how to use it, Sparky. You'll be okay."
Well, I think you're giving a good example that it doesn't have to be a chain around somebody's neck, too. I mean, you're making it...
Well, sometimes that's helpful. You get the chain, you can drag them over. We're not going to rule that out. We don't want to be too radical here.
So now you brought up the meeting planners, event planners, people that are hiring speakers, and you said that they might not tell you that they're looking at social media out there and your presence on the web. Can you go into that a little bit more? What exactly does that mean? How do you really know if what you have out there is good or not? I mean, I guess if you're getting the lead calls, I guess that's one way, but...
There you go. Proof is in the pudding.
Well, certainly you can look at analytics and track who has come to your website, the sources. Are they coming from your social media sites? And often they are. You can also have ways that they're connecting through the social media. One of the things that you can do that most people don't know is you can look at who's looked at your LinkedIn profile. And so that's, something that's interesting. But a lot of times people will mask themselves so that you can't exactly see who's looking at your LinkedIn profile. But that's one of the things that is important to do. So, certainly good marketers, good business people, when somebody calls, they ask, "Well, where did you find me? How did you see me?" But, nowadays there's so many different touch points. It's just hard to say that, and unlikely that somebody's going to specifically say Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. But I believe it's an important part of the mix.
Okay, so let's just talk about the website, because that's one of my main focuses with my own clients, is always coming back to what I think is the heart of everything we do on the web, which is your website. That's where everybody winds up. Do you have any suggestions for what's current now, for what meeting planners and event planners are looking for in websites?
Well, I think a website definitely needs to have that social media component tied into it. It needs to be an integral part of it. And really, a website really should be a blog. It should be a site where people can get information, and you've got a blog as an integral component of it so that it's available. I think the other thing they're looking for is a demo video. As Gina wrote that down there, and I could see that. I go, demo. See, we write these things down here like I see it says demo video. So I get that. But yeah, she's right. You got to put it. And I would say not just a demo video, but you need other videos as well, so that they see you're real. Matter of fact, I remember just recently, a couple weeks ago, you remember I was working with a major, well-known international client that you would know who I'm talking about, and they were wondering about what I was going to cover, et cetera, and I mentioned a particular story that I might cover, and they go, "Oh, yeah, we know that. We want you to share that." And I realized the only way they would have found that out was on my website. And so I knew they had been out there crawling around my website and made the decision to hire me based on the compilation of materials, including the video and other things out there. And so that's something that is not just maybe you should do it. It's kind of like, do you think I should get rid of these bib overalls and get a suit and tie? Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. In today's world, if you don't, I'm just hoping that those kind of people are my competitors.
Oh, that's great. This is going to be quite a session, I can tell.
We're going to have fun. It's still legal to have fun in Colorado, isn't it?
It is definitely legal to have fun. Yes, it is.
Another thing, I insist, you leave the mountains in place, okay? You take them down, we're out of here. We're not coming.
Marty, I'm so glad that you focus on speaker websites and author websites. And I know Heather Lutzy, one of her areas of focus is this search engine optimization and being found. It's just amazing to me how many speaker websites we see that you can't find them. They're invisible on to the search engines. They're not doing some basic things that need to be done. And it's just such a crying shame because I say, I want to help speakers share their brilliance with the world because there's so many smart people in NSA that have so much to offer. But if they can't be found on the search engines and or they're not doing social, then they're not likely to be seen and found. And they're not likely to help the people that they need to help, the people who need to hear their voice.
Yep. So Google still is a factor in your opinion.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, they're huge and they're smart enough. They're going. The geniuses there branching out into other areas and they're rapidly moving, as we know, into Android hardware. They're also going into Google Plus, so they're tapping into social, working on it. And so the market is changing very rapidly. There's a lot of moving parts, and they're moving faster and faster all the time. So it's fun, and the good news is you'll never get bored. That's for sure.
I just had to interject that because you just don't hear as much about optimizing your website and getting on Google placement, things like that, as you used to. Maybe it's just not as sexy as Pinterest or whatever the new thing is that's coming out. And we have to remember to keep that core. I mean, you still have to be findable on search engines for sure. Well, yeah. Let's talk specifically just a little bit because I mean I'm done with our regular conversation here. This is great. Like I said, I can only imagine how much me, along with the rest of the audience, how much we're going to learn just from your 2 sessions alone, let alone the rest of the day. My goodness, this is going to be a great event.
Yeah, we got, 12 hours for us? I think. Is that it? I'll have to check. Hi, Heather. Heather's going, oh, my, what are you doing? Man.
But what about the other guys? What about the guys that have been doing this for a while and they're like, oh yeah, that Terry and Gina, I've seen them speak before. I don't need to go to this. Let the newbies all go to this event. What do you say to people like that?
I'd say, yes, indeed. I came before and we talked about Lotus 1, 2, 3. We're not going to talk about that this time. This will be actually my, I think, 5th presentation to Colorado chapter, and I really enjoy it every time. Just love it there, and looking forward to it. We're going to give some of the latest cutting-edge information of what's going on with cloud score development, things like Google Plus, how you can use that, how speakers can make money with this and are doing it now. And I'm going to leverage off of some of the things I did when I was working with Skype as their chief enterprise blogger, showing how people are leveraging that to connect with others around the world and the kind of activities you can do in blogging, what works. And I mean, when I was working with AT&T, they asked me to be their editor-in-chief for their big blog. And I learned that some of the work that we were doing was a direct result in selling literally billions with a B, billions of dollars in sales, because there's a process you go through. And that same process will work for speakers. We're going to show them what's going on right now. Those that are coming will get that information. Plus, we'll have more fun than the law will allow, which is good because laws are different in Florida.
Well, you can bring those to Colorado too. That's just
yes. Come on up. We'll hook them up the plane, drag them on up there.
Yeah, just to add a couple things there. Hot off the press, something that we'll be talking about that people really need to know about is the Google Author Rank and how that impacts speakers, bloggers, and authors. Is really important. So how that's going to drive more traffic to your websites.
You're going to tell them about the Google People rank as well? That's cool, cutting edge stuff. See, Gina knows all this stuff. I get to just kind of hang with her and learn about all of that. We might, don't tell them about it. Just not going to say. We have to come to the meeting and find out about how that is going to change things too.
Yes, and we'll be wrapping up right before that our book that we're working on from McGraw-Hill about clout And so we'll have our latest great information to share about social sharing with that.
Wow. So we have shortcuts, checklists, engagement suggestions, combination of everything. I love that when you said you have to have a combination of all these strategies working for you.
Yeah.
Case studies. We have the new type of cold call. There's got to be a name for that. Somebody's got to come up with a coin for that phrase. Clout score, author rank. My goodness, the list goes on and on and on. So
That's right. We're going to cram all that into that 12-hour time period that Heather Lutzy has given us. Thank you, Heather. We really appreciate it. We might be able to use 14 hours, but we'll see what happens.
Well, maybe we'll have to have you back for an encore, huh?
Yeah, there we go. Or we'll carry it on in the bar afterwards. And since we're from sea level Florida, going up to Mile High City, woohoo, one beer, we're out.
All right. Well, I am really looking forward to this event, March 22nd. That is a Friday, as you've pointed out. So make sure to be at iHeart Tech NSA Colorado, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. at the PPA Event Center. Anything else to say before I close up here?
Yeah, we right now are scheduled to stay and not fly out till Sunday. So anyone who wants to take us skiing on Saturday would give some big brownie points and learn all about marketing technologies. We're on the ski lift, riding up. We can talk some good stuff then.
Oh, you got it. We will work on that. I am a ski hound. I go skiing every week at least once, so we can definitely hook you up with that. So that's great. I really look forward to this event. Look forward to meeting you officially in person as well. So thank you for being on the call with me, and we'll see if we can really pack the house. I can't. This is if you're a professional speaker in Colorado, Wyoming, Western Nebraska, this is the place to be on Friday, March 22nd. We should have 500 people plus in this auditorium.
Very good.
All right. Thanks again.
Marty, thank you.
Thank you, Marty.